Hi everybody, my name is ADUSEI. I'm from London, Ontario, Canada. I'm currently living in Hamilton, Ontario. Let me give you guys a story in regards to, the story behind my healing. The story prior to being diagnosed with initially diagnosed with early stage cancer, which progressed to stage 4 cancer. I went to the doctor's office because I had a little bit of a bump in my armpit. And I thought it was just, like I said, swelling in my armpit from an infection. So I went to the doctor. He put me on antibiotics, only for me to come back maybe a few days to a week or so after, because the antibiotics were not helping and I was actually feeling horrible. And the bump had actually gotten bigger. He said, we're going to have to schedule you for a biopsy because we want to take a sample of the lump that's in your armpit to see what it is. We're not saying it's cancer, but from the looks of it, we want to make sure that it's not and eliminate it. And then that's when he told me, he said, the biopsy found cancer in your armpit. So the lump that's there is a tumor. I think it was B cell, and it was the most aggressive kind of cancer in its field. But they said, let us do the stem cell transplant for you. It's one of the most advanced technologies that we have. And it's so successful among people because of your condition and how severe the cancer is. There's over a 90% chance of you surviving with a stem cell transplant. So I was actually hospitalized for a month to do a stem cell transplant. I did the stem cell transplant. They waited for a little bit. And then finally they came back to tell me the bad news that the stem cell transplant literally did nothing.
Cancer is an abnormal, uncontrolled growth of cells from any tissue in the body. It's actually a very, deadly disease that can lead to a lot of ill health and death in some situations, either by primarily destroying the organ and pressure symptoms in the organ that is involved, or by spreading to other vital organs in the body, thereby leading to death by metastasis. So this lady I'm talking about really had an uphill task, to deal with when, she had this diagnosis.
Life became miserable for her as she was constantly in and out of the hospital. It was in this state that Rose headed for the healing school.
Let me tell you, the first day I walked into the healing school, that all changed completely. I just felt it. I just felt when I walked in that it was different. So on the last day when Pastor Chris was coming, I had already mentally and spiritually prepared myself through prayer and fasting. And when he walked in and he was walking towards me, I felt, even before he reached me, I felt cold. I was freezing. So I was shaking and I was crying. And then he came and he touched me. Like, he didn't touch me, but he went like this. And I fell. And till this day, I always tell people, I heard someone say, you were healed. I don't know if it was Pastor Chris, but I heard it. You were healed. And I remember getting up and I was running, but I was crying. And I just knew from that moment on that I was healed. I had received my healing and there was no questions asked. So I went back to London after the healing school service. I went back to London. The doctor scheduled me for a scan. And when the PET scan results came back a couple of days or a week later to the doctor, she called me in. She called me in for an appointment to tell me the results. And when she came in, she says, I'm not exactly sure how to read the results of the scan because nothing is clear. We can't really see where, the tumors are. We can't really see where the cancer is. So what I'm going to have to do is schedule you for another scan. And the scan that she was going to schedule me for was going to be a couple of months down the line because you can't do a PET scan or a CAT scan too close together because it's not safe for the body. So I went back in for the second PET scan. I came back for the results a little bit later, and then it took her about 2 hours to come into the room to tell me that there was no sign of cancer in my body. She said, I have good news for you. Based on the results, 2, there is no sign of cancer in your body. I was at the meeting with my dad. My dad just jumped up and he said, hey, like that. He's like, hey, like that. And I was shocked because even though I was ready, even though that's what I was waiting to hear, when you hear it, you're just, You know, I was shocked, so I couldn't even move, and my dad was here. My dad said, "Did you hear? There's no cancer," you know? And then when I finally came to, I said, "What did you say?" to the doctor, because I wanted to hear it again. And she said, "We can't find cancer on the scan. There's no cancer." So me and my dad ran outside, and I just started jumping around and screaming. And I was holding my dad, and my dad was holding me. And we were just jumping up and down. "Hey, my gosh," you know, just very happy.
I thank God for Pastor Chris and the members on that healing school for all the things that they done for Rose to be delivered from this such a cancer, stage 4 cancer. Now Rose is cancer free. I thank God for that, and she is back to school.
So the joy of this family was infectious. Since then, she has been declared she's been cancer free. She's living a healthy, active life now, and it's a testimony that none of us will forget in a hurry.
What a glorious and unforgettable experience for Rose. She is now able to dream again. Just as the Bible says in Romans 8 verse 37, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us."
This message is to all of you out there that are suffering unnecessarily, that are sick, that have been told that there is no hope, that have been told that they only have a couple of months or so to live. Guess what? I'm healed now. Take a leap of faith, because that's exactly what I did. I was a skeptic as well, even though I was a Christian my whole life. And because of this program, I am where I am today. So please go and give this program a chance. God is still in the healing business.
Do you know you are an agent of change? The earnest, heartfelt, continued prayer of a righteous man makes tremendous power available, dynamic in its working. You can make a difference through your prayer. Join the Healing School Prayer Network today and be a part of the transformation around the world. Sign up now at www.enterthehealingschool.org/prayer. For more details, visit our website at www.enterthehealingschool.org.
Look at me, I am healed.
This is the Healing School, a place of answers and solutions, a place of miracles and divine transformation.